Good evening, champions. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast with yours truly, Arian, Tyson, the movie Motivator. And I am just excited to be back before you tonight. You're in for a special treat. So if you haven't done so, grab a pen and a pad, and we're going to get it started momentarily. I'm gonna let some people know that I'm live. About to get this going. If you're just hopping on, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know who's joining me. You're definitely in for a treat tonight. We're about to get it going. Right on. Hey, champions, welcome to tonight's special edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. It's yours truly, Arian Tyson. I'm sitting in my office here in the STL, and it is a privilege and honor to be back before you tonight, especially tonight because I have a special treat in store for each and every last one of you all that are watching. For those that don't know, I had the privilege and honor of serving as a facilitator on a global conference this past Saturday. And it was entitled the Live Your Best Life Conference this past Saturday. And I had the privilege and honor of sharing a topic that for those of you who missed it, I'm going to present tonight. This presentation was heard by thousands of people, and I found out today that over 100,000 people tuned in to the conference live and over the internet. It was an all-day conference. I was one of 40 plus speakers who provided value on that day, and so many people hit me up afterwards saying that they missed it. They wish they could have heard it. They didn't know what time I was going on. Well, you asked, and now I'm delivering. I'm going to share with you what I shared on that conference this past Saturday. So if you have not already done so, grab a pen and a pad, take notes, and allow me to do what I've been blessed to do. And I'm going to share with you from this topic It's time for you to make the world respect your greatness. This is the same topic that I used for my presentation at the Live Your Best Life conference. And I want to take time before I begin to give a special shout out to Dr. Ruben West and my Black Belt speaker family for the privilege, the honor of welcoming me in with open arms, and for allowing me to be on that platform. I shared the stage with so many phenomenal speakers, including Dr. Ruben West and, of course, the incomparable Les Brown. So it was definitely a dream come true. And I'm going to share with you what I shared with the world on Saturday. And again, the name of the presentation was Make the World Respect Your Greatness. That was the name of it. And so the purpose of the presentation, I hit on a couple key points. First off, I defined what is greatness. And then also, I talked about why being average is not an option, especially in the days and times that we live in. Then we're going to talk about how to elevate above your past setbacks to achieve greatness. And then I'm going to share with you the 3 things that you must do to make the world respect your greatness. So let's dive in. For those who are not familiar with me, again, my name is Arian Tyson. I am a proud native of St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised, and have a humble beginning. I was actually diagnosed with lead poisoning at an early age, and I grew up very quiet, very introverted. And because I had people pour into me, because I had people see greatness in me when I didn't see it in myself, it allowed me to overcome my fears, one of which is what I'm doing now, which is shooting a podcast, shooting a video. And because of that, because of my consistency and my gift to encourage and inspire people to be not only all that they can be, but be all that they should be, I was coined with the moniker of the moving motivator, because it started off with me shooting motivational videos in my car driving to work. And that's where it grew from. And it just fit perfectly. And to date, I've been blessed to shoot over 900 videos and counting. And this is going back to 2013. So not a very long time, but a lot of consistency in there. And because of that, been able to be a blessing and impact people from my hometown of St. Louis all the way to Australia, and even in South Africa and many other places. And I am a firm believer that greatness is inside of everyone, despite how humble their beginnings may be. So the question comes, what is greatness? What is greatness? And so I've developed my own definition of greatness, but I'm also going to share with you a definition of greatness that is probably one of the best definitions that I've ever come across. My definition of greatness is the ability to authentically walk in your truth, regardless of shortcomings, recognizing that setbacks are inevitable, yet acknowledging the price of achieving greatness is responsibility. One of the greatest definitions that I've come across regarding greatness was actually by the late, great Bob Marley. He said that the greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. And to me, that's what defines greatness. And think about it. In order for you to achieve greatness, you cannot settle for being average. And in the days and times that we live in, being average is not an option. And I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why being average is not an option. First of all, you are fearfully, uniquely, and wonderfully made. That alone makes you better than average. Average is not an option. Another reason is because you were designed to stand out, not fit in. That's what you were designed to do. And there's too many people living life going with the flow, operating that status quo, living in comfort. But the reality is, the comfort zone is not only the danger zone, the comfort zone is the dead zone. Think about it. Are you where you're supposed to be, or are you where you want to be? Because I can surely tell you, I can assure you that you're not going to get to where you deserve to be by playing it safe and being average. Because life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And then the third reason being is that if you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. And if somebody told you that, you need to go back to them, or you need to find them and tell them that they are a liar and the truth is not in them. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. Because not only are you fearfully, uniquely, and wonderfully made, not only were you designed to stand out and not fit in, but because you need no one's permission to be great. It is a choice, and the choice is yours. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how humble your beginnings are. It doesn't matter if you was born with or without a silver spoon in your mouth. The choice is yours. If you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. Walk in it and watch what happens. Think about this. In order for you to achieve any greatness, setbacks are inevitable. Setbacks are going to come. It is a part of life. That's just the reality of it. No matter how uncomfortable you want to be, or how uncomfortable it may feel, setbacks are going to happen. Having said all that, I want to share with you how to elevate above your past setbacks and achieve greatness. And it starts with understanding the difference between average people and great people, because average people and great people don't think the same. And there are many differences. So let me share with you some of the differences between average people and great people. Average people have a dream. However, it rarely manifests itself because they let the world act on them. They let the words of their spouse, children, friends, family, or whoever reach their heart, and in return, they become discouraged. Think about that for a second. That's what happens when it comes to average people. They sometimes get started, but they don't finish what they start. Because as soon as adversity comes up, as soon as a misfortune comes up, they fold up like a cheap tent and they run. And normally they run to what they know is comfortable. Great people understand that they cannot do that. Great people don't allow themselves to do that. Think about this. Great people act on the world, whereas average people let the world act on them. I'm going to say it again. Great people act on the world, Whereas average people let the world act on them. What's another difference between being average and being great? Great people change the world, realizing that they must change themselves. You can't change the world unless you're willing to change yourself. Whereas average people let the world change them while believing that they will never change. Real people learn to change. I actually said this over the weekend because I actually had a chance to speak on Sunday. And one of the things that I said was, because I'm 34 years old, my mindset at 34 is not the same mindset that I had when I was 24. And if that is true, if my mindset at 34 is the same as it was back when I was 24, I wasted 10 years of my life. Ask yourself, is your mindset the same way that it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, etc.? Chances are it's not, and it should not be. Think about this. Great people are the cause. Watch this. Great people are the cause. Average people are the effect. Great people create the bang. Average people feel the bang. I'm going to say it again. Great people create the bang. Average people feel the bang. Do you see the distinction? In order for you to live your best life, you have to move your life from being a feeler, metaphorically speaking, to becoming a doer. At the end of your feelings is nothing. Heard it said like this: at the end of your feelings is nothing. But at the end of every principle is a promise. Think about how many people that you've met that have allowed their feelings to cloud their judgment, to cloud their better judgment. You got to learn how to separate your feelings. You got to learn how to get out of your feelings when something happens, because setbacks are going to happen. Nobody goes through life perfectly. There is no such thing as a perfect person, a perfect man, a perfect woman. They don't exist. And chances are if they come around us, they're not going to be perfect. Just giving it to you real. Think about this. Great people rise above failures. Did you catch that? Great people rise above failures. Average people fail as a result of failures. What does that mean? That means that yes, even in achieving greatness, you're going to encounter failures. Your ability to be able to rise above them is what elevates you from being average to being great. If everybody could succeed overnight and success come easy, it will lose its value. No one would cherish success like they do now. It reminds me of a movie. One of my favorite movies is entitled A League of Their Own. It tells the story of, there was an all-women's baseball league. And the main character was a manager, drunk manager, played by Tom Hanks. And he coaches this all-girls team to the championship round, to the World Series. Its best hitter, the team's best hitter in the World Series, decided that it was too tough. It was too tough for her. So she decided, without even thinking about how it was going to affect the people around her, she decided that she was just going to pack her bags and go home back to Oregon, have some kids with her husband who had just came back from the war, and live happily ever after. So she has an encounter with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks' character. She has an encounter with him. And she told him that it just got too hard. And he said that, you know, who am I to tell you how to live? If you want to go home and make 100 babies, that's your business. But sneaking out like this, quitting, you regret it for the rest of your life. And she said that it just got too hard. And he said that it's supposed to be hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great. Hence, creating a successful life, being great, is difficult. It's not easy. And a ton of stuff is going to be put in front of you. And you will have to overcome all of it in order to reach any level of success. You're going to have to overcome it all. The failures, the obstacles, the problems, the issues, etc. They're all common components to success. You can't re-engineer or circumvent the process. You gotta respect the process. Because out of your failures, out of your obstacles, out of your problems, out of your issues, it's building your testimony. And it's building your credibility because you know what you speak of because you've been through it and you learned how to overcome it. And you have to remember that the purpose of these roadblocks is to weed out the pretenders from the contenders. It's a lot of people that's pretending. It's a lot of people that's pretending. But it's only a few of us that is contending. You can't become a champion if you're not even willing to be a contender. It's too many people faking the funk and there's too many people being pretenders. If you want to stand out, get in the ring. Step to the plate. Step on the court. Step on the field. Step into the field of play and become a contender. And here's the difference. If you're a pretender, you'll let failure stop you because when you fail, it'll be game over for you. However, if you are a contender, someone who persists in the face of failure, in the face of setbacks, you will learn and you will start to shine bright like a diamond. And remember this, if you don't remember anything else, everybody wants to be a diamond, yet so many people are afraid to get cut. A diamond is a piece of charcoal. It starts off in a humble beginning. A diamond is a piece of charcoal that learned how to handle pressure very well. I'm just letting you know. So how, after saying all that, how can you make the world respect your greatness? You do it 3 ways. Number 1, you live greatness. You live greatness. What do I mean? Certain things should be reflected in your life. The way that you talk, the way that you walk, the way that you carry yourself is an embodiment of you. If you want to live greatness, if you want to be greatness, you have to live it first. You have to live it. And certain places that you used to go, you can't go anymore. Certain conversations that you would normally entertain and jump into, you can't entertain it anymore. You don't have time for it. But not only that, not only must you live greatness, you have to breathe greatness. You have to be mindful of the stuff that enters your subconscious mind. You have to remember that you can't feed into every negative conversation or everything that you see negative on social media or on television or in a movie. You have to guard your thought process. You have to guard your mind. Because ultimately, if you allow too much negativity to enter in, that's what's going to come out. Because ultimately, what you deposit, what you allow to be deposited in you, you're going to withdraw sooner or later. So you have to be willing to breathe greatness. Surround yourself around people who are better than you, who are further along in the journey than you are. And then finally, you have to be greatness. You have to be it. You can't settle for mediocrity. You can't settle for being average. You have to become allergic to average if you want to achieve any level of greatness. The three things that you must do in order to make the world respect your greatness. You have to live greatness. You have to breathe greatness. And then finally, you have to be greatness. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Why? Because champions make real moves in silence. They don't have to advertise the moves they're doing. They will let their success be the noise. In closing, remember this. As you ascend, as you elevate, as you climb up that mountain, you got to realize that everybody's not going to go with you, that you want to go with you. Everybody is not going to understand you, despite the fact that they say they love you. They can't go where you're going. And the truth of the matter is this. They don't have to believe you as long as you believe in yourself. Never let how they feel about you change the way you feel about yourself. And I was actually on a Facebook Live earlier today where Dr. Ruben West, ironically, was talking about there is no they. And that's so true. Because think about excuses that people make as far as why they have not achieved what their heart has desired. You don't know what they did to me. You don't know what they said to me. You don't know or how they treated me. They this, they that, they. Who is they? There is no they. Why are you giving those theys all of that power? Power to control your decision making. Never let how they feel about you change the way you feel about yourself. When you make a decision to live it, breathe it, and be it, you will then make the world respect your greatness. Remember, in life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. The world is waiting on you. When are you going to decide to make the world respect your greatness? When? Because the world is waiting on you. What are you going to do? It starts with you. It starts with the person that you're looking at in the mirror. That's what happens. And until you learn how to do that, you're shortchanging yourself, because there are a ton of people that are waiting to be impacted by you. It doesn't have to be speaking, but it's about you living out your purpose. What are you doing to live out your purpose? Are you living out your purpose? They don't have to believe you as long as you believe in yourself. Never let how they feel about you change the way you feel about yourself. I challenge you. Make the world respect your greatness. It's yours truly, Arian Tyson, the Moving Motivator. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to tonight's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. It has been a privilege and honor to be back before you. I will be back next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on another edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. Again, it's yours truly, Arian Tyson, the Moving Motivator, signing off. Peace.